This is Yogita Patil. Name of the paper is Hydrogeology. As the name indicates, hydro means water, geology means earth science. That is the relation between water and that of the conditions of the land prevailing in a particular area. Their interrelationship is studied in a branch of geology which is called as hydrogeology. Today we are going to see some concepts in hydrogeology. First of all, we will see the definition of hydrogeology. It is a branch of geology that deals with study of occurrence, distribution and circulation of groundwater beneath the earth's surface. It is very important and significant branch of geology, as all of us is aware that there is a prevailing water crisis and hence water management becomes the need of the day. Water management, especially groundwater management, is very essential in water management of an area or in watershed management of a particular area. Hence, we must know about the occurrence, distribution and circulation of groundwater. How does the groundwater forms, that is its occurrence, how does it distributes throughout the stratas or layers beneath the surface, and how does it circulate beneath the surface, so that we can develop certain strategies to manage this groundwater and we can make optimum use of it. So we are going to learn some important terminologies in hydrogeology. The very important concept is hydrological cycle. What is hydrological cycle? It is also called as a water cycle, and it is the sum total of all processes in which water moves from the land and ocean surface to the atmosphere and back in the form of precipitation. Means it is a cyclic movement of water from land, that is the water present in different reservoirs present on the land as well as in ocean, and then its journey to atmosphere and back again to the land in the form of precipitation. It is a water recycling system of the earth, as we need to recycle the water. It is the phenomena which developed by the earth to recycle its own water. Due to solar radiation, the water gets evaporated from the water surface bodies like seas, rivers, lakes and other water reservoirs. Also, water gets evaporated from plant leaves through the mechanism of transpiration. In this way, a steam is generated. Then, as it is lighter than the other part of the air, it rises in the atmosphere. Once it gets raised, it gets cooled, condensed, and it gets converted into precipitation and again returns to the atmosphere and again to the land in the form of precipitation. प्रेसिपिटेशन म्हणजेच पाऊस. प्रेसिपिटेशन हा खूप वेगळा शब्द वाटतो, पण प्रेसिपिटेशनचा साधा सोपा मराठीतला अर्थ आहे पाऊस. आता पावसाचं महत्त्व काय आहे हे वेगळं सांगण्याची गरज नाही. आपल्याला सगळ्यांना माहित आहे पाऊस पडला नाही तर काय होतं आणि पाऊस पडल्यामुळे काय होतं. अ पार्ट ऑफ वॉटर precipitating penetrates the ground and moves downward through the incisions, forming aquifers. Once this stream comes to the earth's surface in the form of precipitation, a runoff is generated, and the part of this precipitating water gets infiltrated or percolated below the surface, and this forms aquifers. Aquifers are nothing but water bearing formations. It is a part of groundwater. Finally, a part of surface and underground water leads to sea. All of us know that the river, the major part of the surface water is in the form of rivers, and its final destination is sea. During this journey, water is converted in all three states, that is gas, liquid and solid. And over millions of years this cycle has been continued, and we receive precipitation. This cyclic process is called as water cycle or hydrological cycle, and it is of immense importance for every living organism, for our earth. This is diagrammatic representation of water cycle. We can see the sun. Due to the heat of the sun, the surface water gets evaporated. It rises into the steam rises into the atmosphere. There process of condensation takes place. Then it comes to the earth's surface again in the form of precipitation. Again this surface water, part of surface water gets percolated to form a groundwater, and this cycle continues. This is called as water cycle. This is another picture of water cycle. It is somewhat easy than the first picture to understand. Here we can see surface water, groundwater, process of infiltration, and different processes which are involved in water cycle. That is, first of all, evaporation of surface water, then condensation, then precipitation, then surface runoff, again infiltration, and formation of groundwater. This is called as water cycle. Next part is important terms in hydrogeology. We have used different terms while describing water cycle. We should know the meaning of each term. So what are these terms? The first term is precipitation. As we have seen earlier, it is nothing but rain. Precipitation is in the form of rain, freezing rain, स्लीट, स्नो और हेल, म्हणजे गारा ज्या वेळेला पडतात किंवा बर्फ पडतो, हा सगळा प्रेसिपिटेशनचाच पार्ट आहे. पण मेजॉरिटी जो आहे पार्ट प्रेसिपिटेशनचा तो पावसाच्या स्वरूपात आपल्याला मिळतो. पण काही वेळेला आपल्याला माहिती आहे गारा पडतात किंवा बर्फवृष्टी होते, तो सगळा प्रेसिपिटेशनचाच पार्ट आहे. म्हणजे जे पाणी वाफेच्या स्वरूपात ॲटमॉस्फिअरमध्ये गेलेलं असतं ते पाणी परत या पावसाच्या स्वरूपात म्हणजेच प्रेसिपिटेशनच्या स्वरूपात आपल्यापर्यंत पुन्हा येऊन पोचतं. त्यामुळे ही पहिली महत्त्वाची टर्म आहे या हायड्रोलॉजीमधली, ती म्हणजे प्रेसिपिटेशन. द नेक्स्ट टर्म इज इव्हॅपोट्रान्सपिरेशन. आता पाणी एकदा आलं पावसाच्या स्वरूपात तर त्याचा लॉस होणार आहे, परत ते ॲटमॉस्फिअरमध्ये जाणार आहे वाफेच्या स्वरूपात. तर ते वाफेच्या स्वरूपात जाण्याची प्रोसेस जी आहे तिला आपण म्हणतो इव्हॅपोट्रान्सपिरेशन. इट इज अ कंबाइंड लॉस ऑफ वॉटर फ्रॉम अ गिवन एरिया बाय इव्हॅपोरेशन फ्रॉम द लँड अँड ट्रान्सपिरेशन फ्रॉम प्लांट्स. म्हणजे आपण कंबाईन केले, इव्हॅपोरेशन म्हणजे वाफ होते आणि ट्रान्सपिरेशन म्हणजे पानं जी असतात वनस्पतींची त्या पानातून जे पाणी बाहेर उत्सर्जित होत असतं त्या प्रोसेसला म्हणतात ट्रान्सपिरेशन. इट इज कंबाइंडली कॉल्ड एज इव्हॅपोट्रान्सपिरेशन. It is a sum of evaporation from the land surface plus transpiration from plants. इथं ही प्रोसेस दाखवलेली आहे. It is a diagrammatic representation of evapotranspiration. We can see the precipitation occurred here. The roots of the plants absorbed the water of precipitation. Again, the absorbed water or excess water gets converted into steam by the process of evaporation, and the water which loses through the plant leaves and it gets back into atmosphere, it is called as transpiration. It is the process of evapotranspiration. Now there are certain factors which affects transpiration. The first factor is temperature. It is directly proportional to the transpiration, or rate of transpiration is directly proportional to temperature. If temperature goes up, the rate of transpiration also gets higher. As the sunlight is stronger, the temperature is high, the air is warmer, and the water is released to the atmosphere through the openings of the plant leaves. While in colder temperatures, these openings are generally closed and it minimizes the losses which occurred through transpiration. Then second factor is relative humidity. आर्द्रता म्हणतो आपण त्याला मराठीत. As the relative humidity is higher, the transpiration rate falls. Means it is inversely proportional to the relative humidity. Means in the drier air or in drier regions, the rate of transpiration is higher as compared with humid areas or in humid air. Then third factor is wind and air movement. म्हणजेच वाऱ्याचा वेग, वाऱ्याच्या वाहण्याचा वेग. Increased movement of air around a plant will result in higher transpiration rate. Wind will move the air around with the result that the more saturated air close to the lip is replaced by drier air. It means that the air is dry and it increases the rate of transpiration. Means it is inversely proportional with the velocity of the wind and air movement. Next factor is soil moisture availability. Soil moisture किंवा जमिनीतला ओलावा. When moisture is lacking, plants can begin to senesce or wilt and transpire less water. जमिनीत जर ओल कमी असेल, वनस्पतीला जर पुरेसं पाणीच मिळालं नाही तर ट्रान्सपिरेशन आपोआपच थांबेल आणि जे ते प्लांट आहे ते सुकायला चालू होईल, विल्टिंग त्याचं सुरू होईल. म्हणजेच सॉइल मॉइश्चर जर जास्त असेल तर ट्रान्सपिरेशन जास्त असेल, सॉइल मॉइश्चर कमी असेल तर ट्रान्सपिरेशन पण कमी असेल. देन टाइप ऑफ प्लांट. इट इज द नेचर ऑफ प्लांट. सम प्लांट्स विच ग्रो इन एरिड रिजन्स सच एज cacti, they conserve water, hence they have very thick leaves to minimize the losses through transpiration as compared with other plants. Then the next process is infiltration. Infiltration is nothing but percolation. It is the process by which water on the ground surface enters the soil. When surface runoff occurs, some part of it gets percolated or infiltrated below the surface and it forms a groundwater. It is governed by two forces, gravity and capillary action. Infiltration rate in soil science is a measure of the rate at which a particular soil is able to absorb rainfall or irrigation. We know that there are different types of soils and the rate of infiltration is also different in different kinds of soils. Some soils readily absorb water and get wet or they form mud. Some type of soils which are sandy soils especially they absorb less water and they remain dry. It is measured in inches per hour or millimeters per hour. That is the water percolated per hour below the surface is measured in millimeters. Once the capacity of the soil is over to absorb water, the rate of infiltration decreases or it ceases at all. If the precipitation rate exceeds the infiltration rate, runoff usually occurs. If the precipitation is more than the percolation, then runoff means the water which is flowing on the surface, it will occur. It depends on the difference between the rate of precipitation and infiltration. It is the diagram which exhibit infiltration process. Here we can see precipitation, and there are two kinds of rocks are shown here. One kind is porous soil and rock. Through this rock and soil, infiltration rate is high, and non-porous soil and rock, through this type of soil and rock, infiltration rate is very low. We can see that. And after infiltration, we can see at the bottom there is a water table, that is the upper surface of the groundwater. This infiltrated water forms the groundwater. So today we have seen the definition of hydrogeology, concept of water cycle, that is cyclic movement of water through atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere in three states, that is liquid, gaseous and solid. Then important terms, that is precipitation, evapotranspiration and infiltration. Thank you.